Today, we're going to talk about streaming behind bars. Philip Van Smith II, courtesy of the author, watching films has helped me make it through 22 years of a life without parole sentence in North Carolina. In many ways, films are the lifeblood of a society. They filter our experiences through art, to teach history, to memorialize current events, and to help define our social morality. But they entertain us too. That's what films are for. Entertainment helps break the monotony of prison life. North Carolina does not allow incarcerated residents, funny that they call them residents, to buy personal televisions. It's as if they're paying rent. They're not residents. They're prisoners. In prisons across the state, I have sat in groups to watch films on cable television, on DVD, and sometimes projected on a theater-sized movie screen. I'll never forget the raucous laughter of 70 prisoners in my cell block after Kevin Hart slapped Ice Cube in Ride Along 2 in 2016. I still think about our tears when watching Lupita Nyong'o being whipped in 12 Years a Slave, 2013. Films unearth buried emotions, even when we want to hide them, and they also help us escape the reality of incarceration. Sight, sound, and emotion. In 2019, prison technology changed my movie watching experience for better and worse with the introduction of tablets by Viapath, formerly GTL or Global Tellink, a company that provides telecommunications to prisons, including phone and payment services. Right. And he says, now I can choose a film from a limited selection to watch at my leisure. But this convenience comes at a high cost. Normally, people subscribe to an app for a monthly fee. Viapath apps in North Carolina prisons work a lot differently. Each prisoner is assigned a tablet free of charge. But to watch films, they must buy a bundle of minutes. So they can buy only 500 minutes of the premium app bundle for $10, which hosts 3 film apps. The Classic Movie app offers black and white films ranging from the silent era to Orson Welles' Macbeth, 1948. The Films and TV app is made up of B movies like Riverworld, 2003. A horrible science fiction TV pilot that Viapath lists as a feature film. Those 2 apps are never updated with new films. Their selections remain the same in perpetuity. The Premium Movie app hosts an assortment of films, such as High Noon, 1952, starring Gary Cooper, and The Dark Tower, 2017, featuring the famous Idris Elba. It swaps about 10 films every 60 days, but never adds new releases. Happy Gilmore, 1996. Major League, 1989, and Jaws, 1975, were a few of the latest films added to the Premium Movies app in March 2024. So, basically, they must use all 500 minutes of the premium app bundle within 30 days or forfeit them. New releases are available on the Premium Access Pass, which allows them to buy only 200 minutes for $8, equivalent to 4 cents a minute, USD. Unlike the Premium app bundle, which also has games, the Premium Pass bundle is centered on films, though it also includes an app that offers up-to-date news from Fox, TMZ, MSNBC, etc. On the Premium Pass bundle, they can watch the movies Gold app, which currently features Barbie, which was released in 2023, Instant Family 2018, and Triple X, The Return of Xander Cage from 2017, along with about 300 other titles. The Premium Pass bundle expires in 96 hours. From a marketing and PR perspective, I don't really see why they're complaining. There's so many places in the world, in Africa, in India, and in Asia, where nobody gets a free tablet and nobody gets to watch streaming video. So as a prisoner in watching streaming video, I think you should count your blessings. The prices of the apps and bundles are not standard across all prisons. Juan Haynes, a resident at San Quentin, a very notorious prison in California, whom was interviewed, can watch films that are a decade old on a Viapath app that costs him $5.49 USD for 30 days of unlimited viewing. In New York State prisons, Corey Arthur uses a tablet provided by a different telecom company, JPay, also known as Securus. He told the interviewer that JPay offers single movies ranging from $1.99 for older films that are on sale to $8.99 for new releases. To replay a film after 48 hours, users must pay again. Cash grab. Besides having an inferior movie list, Arthur wrote in an e-message from his tablet, the prices are way too high, especially when you consider the overall pricing of services that are free in society. You're not in society, you're in prison. Divergent pricing schemes across multiple states signals a prison tech industry that is poorly regulated. Because these companies enter into contracts with entire state prison systems, once they are entrenched, they can charge whatever they want. Viapath and JPay's high prices extend to instant messaging, phone services, and trust fund account management. Each company strives to provide every service the state needs, creating a pseudo-monopoly where they operate. There's no competition, right, to keep prices fair. In many cases, states receive revenue directly from prison tech companies, furthering dependence on them. Makes sense. These revenue-sharing agreements increase costs because the company must split profits with the state. The high cost of entertainment falls on families of the incarcerated more than them, right? Because they can't earn that much money behind bars. Most jobs in North Carolina prisons pay 40 cents, 70 cents, or $1 per day. Sounds minuscule, but a dollar is, I think, equivalent to about 4,000 pesos right now. So complain to somebody in Peru. So a streaming bundle could cost a prisoner 2 weeks' worth of income or more. We simply can't afford the price of entertainment. The astronomical fees that prison tech companies charge are aimed at their families who want to help them while they are incarcerated. At the London Correctional Institution in Ohio, Michael Ray, who was interviewed through an intermediary over e-messaging, can also access the Movies Gold app on the Premium Pass bundle with a Viapath tablet, except at a higher cost. Thank the Lord you still have access to tablets. Most of the world doesn't. The same 200 minutes costs him $10 to $2 more than people pay in North Carolina. So Ray can also buy a package that North Carolina doesn't offer. called the Entertainment Bundle, which costs about $12.99 for 30 days of unlimited streaming. I've never understood why they don't just round things up to $13. Why is it $12.99? Probably just to keep the penny in rotation. With that deal, Ray used to be able to stream Pluto TV and Crackle, apps with television shows and films that are mostly between 3 and 5 years old, with no new releases. Pluto TV was removed in February 2024 because of content and technical difficulties. So that facility never elaborated beyond that. But Ray has an idea of what might have happened. He says, and I quote, "As far as technical difficulties go, there were a lot of movies and shows which simply would not play. I'd say at least a quarter of the content was affected, which means there were hundreds, if not thousands of titles that were unavailable. As far as the content goes, there was your typical violence and nudity, which is somewhat taboo to prison administrators, but not necessarily a deal breaker. While none of the movies would be classified as pornography, some of them did portray genitalia and penetrative sex, such as Short Bus and Nymphomaniac. So I guess this is what the announcement meant by content. In 2019, the Medium custody prison where he was housed served as the tablet pilot program in North Carolina. So they had Pluto TV from the beginning. Although it did not offer new releases, the app listed hundreds of films in at least 24 categories, as well as seasons of TV shows and music video streaming stations. They often joked that they spent more time choosing something to watch than they actually spent watching movies, but the service was imperfect. Technical issues were part of the problem, so despite the large selection, some films would not work. So they could open the film's file, but the film would buffer endlessly, wasting time and money. Pluto TV also incorporated commercials throughout its films, again, to make more money. That's not a problem for someone using the app for free, but it is for prisoners paying to watch by the minute. So Pluto TV's content was more of a problem for prison staff. It featured shows that prison systems would consider a threat to the security of institutions. Things of violence, for example. Series like the first 48, 60 Days In, and Cops pull back the veil of the sometimes unethical methods used by law enforcement agencies to secure arrests, especially in criminal investigations. Nudity in films was also an issue. North Carolina prison policy prohibits nudity in photos and magazines. Several correction officers told prisoners that they didn't want them to have Pluto TV because its content violated prison policy. So, as you can imagine, the prisoners weren't surprised when Pluto TV was removed from their tablets in 2020. Kwame Teague has been serving life in North Carolina for about 30 years. While in prison, Teague penned the Dutch series, a collection of urban novels published by Terry Woods. The series was adapted into a movie that, after a brief stint in theaters, aired on BET, Black Entertainment Television, in 2021, enabling Teague to watch the cinematic realization of his greatest accomplishment on cable TV in his prison dorm. Can you imagine? Since then, Teague has written several screenplays and contributed to the production of independent films like Till My Casket Drops 2022 and Cream, CREAM 2023, which are available on Tubi, a free movie app that they can't access. So prison officials will probably point to excessive violence and sexual content as reasons why the prisoners could never access films like the ones Teague has written via Tubi on Viewpath tablets, although black urban movies show no more nudity or bloodshed than the shows they can already watch on basic cable television like Yellowstone or American Horror Story. So he says, and I quote, "I understand why we can't have Tubi," Teague said in an interview at the medium custody prison where he's housed in North Carolina. "But the apps we have lack films that highlight Black, Asian, and Latino culture. Viewpath doesn't offer good stories that paint people of color in a positive light. We need diversity, especially since we're paying such a high cost, while their families are. To be clear, Viewpath doesn't choose the films we have access to. A correctional programming company named Edovo provides all content for Viewpath tablets, as well as a few other tablet providers. So Edovo gives prisoners systems a menu that catalogs content in groups. Each group, movies, books, etc., is categorized into fields such as premium, which is new material, second market, more than a year old, or low open access. So it's unclear if Edovo purchases the rights to show them films, and if so, how much Edovo pays. So for films, prison systems can select a rating range, for example, G through PG-13. They can further select subcategories to exclude specific content like adult themes, violence, or language. They can also choose a price range. So once the categorical selections are made, only the applicable films are uploaded for them to watch. So this is why they paid 2 cents per minute to watch The Goonies from 1985 instead of John Wick Chapter 4 from 2023. So they rarely watch films on their tablet. They can't afford to, right? They earn 40 cents a day as a dorm janitor. So they can't sacrifice a stick of deodorant to watch a bad miniseries called Knights of Bloodsteel from 2009. Despite the high cost and censored content, they still see 3 or 4 guys huddled around a tablet. A tablet's 8-inch screen to watch the latest films posted to the Movies Gold app. Sometimes they pitch in commissary items to share the $8 fee. Regardless, they could have cheaper packages. So Edovo could offer a better selection of films, but prison systems don't have to exploit them. But at least they have something to help them escape prison life, if only for 90 minutes. Thanks for stopping by. Please like and subscribe, and see you on the next show.